So I wrote this down. I want to get back into gratitude journaling. Today I am grateful for starting back my self improvement journey. So I'm just going to go off of some things that I wrote in my notebook and just go from there. And the first thing that I want to bring up is that I used to be so focused in on this goal of self improvement. I'll tell you guys a story. So, back when I was in high school, I was a runner, but I wanted to do hurdles because I knew how to do it, so I thought I might as well try for it. So, I tried for hurdles, and it had been like no one's been like cut yet, and so it's the first chance I have to actually go over like a regular sized hurdle. And I knew how to do it. I had done it before years earlier. And so a bunch of people that I knew, you know, came to like look. So I got a bit cocky and I thought I was going to do it quick, just go through them real quickly. And so I decided that I decided I'm gonna do that, and so I'm about to, raise my leg to go over it, and I feel on the very bottom of the heel of my foot the actual hurdle, and sure enough, I almost made it. I scraped like both of my knees and one of my elbows, and I don't know if I got it like that bad, but I practically like flipped over, and so I'm like getting up. It like my knees kind of hurt. It kind of hurts to get up a little bit, and I like think for a second, and I just yell out like, "Hey, can I try that again?" Just without even thinking, and I think that mentality I've kind of lost it since then. Where I think that I lost it after high school. That I just used to be so focused in on whatever I was doing, and I've gotten to a point where I've lost so much discipline and motivation. And some of it is just life experience. I've changed what I wanted to do, but still I think that I can bring that back because I'm losing my sanity. I feel like I have no motivation to do the things that I actually want to do. And so what I'm, focused on is improving my discipline first and foremost. But I'll say the reason why I'm coming back around to self-improvement is that at first I was starting to develop this idea that, maybe self-improvement isn't that important. You can live a good life as, a relatively normal person. And that's true. You don't have to be on self-improvement to have a good life. But I think that the problem with that premise is that there is something that self-improvement addresses that other movements just don't, that no one else is really talking about. And that is that everything in life has sort of like a fake copy of it, if that makes sense. Like for example, the topic of OnlyFans, something I've never mentioned. I've never brought that up in one of my videos. And from what little I understand, some of the appeal is not literally that, it's people with their clothes off. It's more that there's an actual, on a small scale anyways, like there's an actual human connection. And it's like a parasocial relationship. And the same thing is true on, for example, YouTube or TikTok. And just anything that you as a human being would naturally want, you can find a crappy copy of it, basically, right? If you want accomplishment, you can find a crappy copy of that. If you want love and intimacy, you can find a crappy copy of that, right? And so a lot of what you'll hear, not on like this red pill stuff, but on genuine self-improvement, what you'll find is that they actually do a good job at making sure that you don't fall into that stuff. So that's all well and good, but what am I actually going to do? So I'll start by, first of all, gratitude journaling. That's the first thing that I spouted off. So gratitude journaling every day. And then I'm going to do a method called Eat the Frog. Now, the idea is basically, let's say hypothetically you were to eat like a frog, or I don't know, like broccoli, or just something you didn't want to eat on your meal. Well, when would you do that? I think I speak for most people when I say I would do that right away so I could get it over with. And so your Eat the Frog activity is meant to be your sort of, you need to get this done, but you don't want to. Just get it done, get it over with for the day. And so I'll start with those two things. And once I feel that I've, compounded with other things and I have sort of built up that sort of discipline, I'll make another video basically. So this is episode 0 of my self-improvement, right? Getting back into self-improvement. So that's all I have for today. It's getting very late. Yeah, you'll probably see this next day. But yeah, peace out.